So last week we talked about running the numbers. That's kind of your sitting in your basement office for Eric or wherever you work, and you're on a spreadsheet or a calculator online, whatever works for you, and you're just punching in numbers.
That's it.
This is the next step. So like you've done the prelim, you say, oh, okay, this could be a deal. I know there's some factors I need to like firm up the Reno budget and the cost and all these things, but back of the napkin, these numbers work. So now let's go look at it.
Yep. So when we talked last week about running the numbers, the A, B, C, D classification, how much are you going to spend? I talk in this episode about looking at the house. What are we looking for? So we're going to open every single door when you walk into that property. Don't leave a single door unopened. There could be a staircase to a basement or an attic you didn't know about. There could be a water heater that has exploded inside of a closet. There could be a vast array of things that could be hiding behind a closed door. If there is a lock on a door, you need to make sure that listing agent or that homeowner, if you're doing an off-market deal, is able to open that door. You don't want to leave a single door unopened.
Now, will you make an offer on a house if there's a locked door? Or are you saying before you close on it?
I would say before you get out of due diligence.
Okay.
Make sure you can open that door.
Yeah.
Don't get locked into that deal unless you know what's behind that door, because you never know. There could be a closet full of asbestos stored things. That'd be the craziest thing to be stored in a closet.
But there could be a moldy closet.
It could be an absolute
roof leak or who knows.
Yeah.
I also would say pay attention to the flooring.
Yeah.
So the last house that we went and looked at and have under contract now, I did the walkthrough by myself initially. And I noticed where the water heater is, it's a brand new water heater and there's a different kind of flooring than the rest of the house. So I looked at our agent and I said, that's different flooring. And we started stepping on the floor around it. And it's like, oh, it's spongy and squishy.
There was a leak at some point.
Right.
And it damaged the floors.
And that's why they put a new water heater, but they didn't fix the floors.
And when she told me that, I was like, okay, we have areas of the home that are going to need subfloor.
Right.
That automatically takes it from A to B.
Right.
Even if everything else is pristine and everything else is just lipstick, that immediately takes it from A to B. Right. Because what that might uncover is now that there are floor joist issues. Yeah. It might uncover that there's a mold issue.
So that would take it to a C or D.
If that uncovers into that.
Yeah.
Now, during your due diligence, that spongy floor should lead you to crawl under the house, which I am going to talk about.
Yeah.
Getting under the house and going to that area. And if it's on a slab, you shouldn't have spongy floors. If you have spongy floors in a slab,
run.
Yeah. Or take it from a B to C.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have to re-pour concrete. But get under that house and find where it's spongy and figure out, is it just the floor? Is it just the subfloor? Are the joists cracked? Something like that. We bought a house 3 or 4 years ago where the entire house did this giant sloping motion, and we had to rebuild the whole floor system because just the center beam was not able to support the whole load of the house. We had to rebuild everything down there.
Yeah.
So open every door, step on every surface.
Right. Especially around water with the surfaces.
Yeah. Like, step behind the toilet.
Make sure under the sinks, laundry rooms, check. Everywhere there's a water source, double check it.
You're going to double check. Next is going to be, you're going to turn on every single light and you're going to make sure water is running, not just out of the pipe, but down the drain. You're going to make sure every toilet flushes and it flushes correctly. There's just so many things that could go wrong. And when I say flush the toilet, don't just flush it once. You're going to flush every toilet at least 5 or 6 times. You're going to run the sinks the entire time that you're walking through the house to make sure that it is draining.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah, you're going to want to make sure that the drainage is working. So after you've done that walkthrough and you've done all that walkthrough, that's when you go under the house to make sure you're not, because it would have enough time to leak and build up.
Yeah, so you're looking for puddles in the crawl space.
That's right.
It's on a crawl to see, oh, okay, there's a bunch of water right here. Like,
Okay. So that's when you're initially looking at that house. Now let's dive.